Hey everybody, I think we are live. We should be live. And yeah, it's been a long time since I went live. Let me just share it on Twitter because why not? And hit tweet. Yes. Let's see how this theme looks like. Actually, I saw many people. I saw Next.js launched another version of Next 13. So here it is. I saw it somewhere in daily.dev. Just search for it. Next. No, not this one. By Next.js. Yep, this one. So yeah, Next 13.1 has a lot going on. Actually, not too much, but what they brought in was really nice. So yeah, we are going to use these features of Next 13 now. Let me know if the theme looks nice to you. I don't think it's okay. It looks okay to me. Why does the shortcuts don't work? So yeah, there are a lot of themes we have. Let's pick one of those. The first one was really nice. Just Noctis. All right. So again, Next 13 also introduced the API routes for app directory. So I think we should go ahead and use those instead of these pages API. So let's first of all go ahead and convert those. But I'm not sure if this will work with next auth because, well, next auth is, I'm not sure. Next auth, Next.js 13. I mean, they just released it, so there is no way I think that will be supported. The new API routes, I mean. Let me also share it on Discord. Server components of the app directory. When was this tweet made? It's a while. It's a long time ago. So yes. I also updated my website, by the way. So like the whole design, not the whole design, but the color scheme basically. So I updated the website if you guys want to check it out and give some feedback. Would be really nice of you to do that. Share the link in the chat. And let's share the link as usual in the web dev Cody server. Is that a just do this right over here. Okay, so now let's work on our app. I'm not sure if this is gonna work as we want it to work, but okay. So far we have done a lot, not a lot, but we have done too much. So I'm just going to hit start on the web server. No, without the turbo. Actually, let's just update Next.js first. So if we check the package JSON, Next is 13.2. Next 13.2 is released. So what we can do is we can install Next at latest, and also the ESLint config and all. So ESLint config Next at latest, and yeah, that's it. Let's do that real quick, and then we'll just commit updated Next.js 13.2, and also have this project up on GitHub. So I can just open this repository. Yes, so here it is. Also put the link right over here. So once we update this, let's commit and push. I think you can hear me. If you cannot, just let me know in the chat. Anyways, we should get back to work. So I'm just going to start the dev server and show you where we are right now. Next add font, installed as a dependency. Please use next font instead. When did I install next font? Oh, I don't remember when this happened. Let's see, initial commit. Maybe this is by okay, wait, so your project is run npx next code mod. Yeah, so we can just run this. Let's do that, if that's possible then. So now it says invalid transform choice, pick one of these. Wow, next image to next image. I don't think they have this code mod set up right now, maybe, but anyways, it's fine right now. Will be removed in next 14. Fine. So at least our app is up and running right in here. So let's just open that up in localhost 3000. And what we are going to do in this one is, it's just like Colornote. Okay, so I opened this up after a long time now, and it takes a lot of time to just check how I am authenticated and all. So that's something I might find a way to fix. Okay, fine. Let's just start working on this first. So if I go to app, and we have login and register are two things that are done. We also have logout. Yeah, that actually works. I did not remember. And I did save the password. No, I did not. So I have to see what the password was. So this was the email or something else. Let's check it on Xata. This one. Inside of, we have NextAuth users, and this is the email, and the password is, if I'm not wrong, it's fill this input. No, that's not the one. We can also handle this error. So it says error equals credentials sign in. So does the page refresh? I'm really not sure. Let's see. So I'm going to paste this in. I'm going to just fill this input, and the page does refresh. So when the page refreshes, what we want to do basically is, okay, wait, so what do we do now? We have this register function, so we can get rid of these all three things. And so this sign in, basically what we can do, I think, is, yeah, we need the router. Sorry about that. And I think the theme is kind of weird. That's fine. Okay, so if I add a use effect where we can check for this thing right over here, this is callback URL and then this error. So let's see next/navigation. No. We have docs. And so we need router. Page links and navigating. So we have this. I don't want to navigate, but I want the URL. So there's mutating the router, there's use router, this. So we have push forward. These are the methods for the router, and path name. String has been removed and replaced by use path name. Okay, so there is a different hook to get the path name. Fine. We'll use path name, which does not seem to auto import right now for some reason. So, and that will return to us the path name. Now this can be the string or null. So what we can do is we can make a check. If not path name, then just return. Else what we can do is, I'm really not sure if this is going to work, but let's see. So we have new URL and then we pass in path name. So now if I console log the URL, and let's pass this path name right over here in the dependency array, right? It says invalid URL. Actually, I think I should console log the path name first, so at least we can see what's going on in here. Oh man, these errors. Okay, so the path name is just /login. That's all there is. That's why it's not the right URL. But still, search params. Yes, exactly. This is what I wanted. Why do I bother using use params? Use search params and use search params. Now we get back the search params, right? So search params. Now these also can be null. So what we can do is we can just replace search params everywhere, and now let's just console log it. Let's see if we just get what we want. And I don't like this mobile view. Okay, so we got this. Okay, fine. So now we have the callback URL and also the error. So what we can do is we can just say, well, hey, get me the error. Let's see if this one actually works. So we get this error. So if this error, so what we can do is we can make a check. So if search params dot get error is equal to this error, then what we can do is we could just say, well, hey, show a toast. So a toast, I think we used React hot toast somewhere around here. Yes, so we can show the toaster, or okay, so we could just call the toast function toast, and we could give it a message of invalid credentials. Well, that's not it. I guess we could just also pass in the style, the position. Okay, so we want the error one. So what we do is we just show toast.error. I think the theme is really bad right now. I'll just change the color theme to the default dark plus version 2, this one. Fine. So now if I refresh and if it does contain, it should show me. I think this condition went false somehow, maybe, who knows. Let's see. I'm just going to console log hi, and yes, this is work. So it says then why the toast does not show up? Let's see. So I think if we want to show the toast, we need the toaster. And okay, so we need this toaster. I think I should assign this toaster to the layout itself. Now this is the whole layout. So if I just go down there, if I just add toaster, and so we don't need it right over here. All right. So now, okay, you are importing component that needs use effect. It works in. Okay. Fine. So layout is not a client component, and so we can use it in providers. So I could just go ahead and say toaster, because providers also does help in this case. Okay, fine. So now if I refresh, it still does not show me anything. So I'm just going to fill all inputs by just random data, and no, that does not work. This is actually very weird. Did not expect this. In the login page, maybe if I move this down there. No, I don't think that's gonna work because the page refreshes anyways. React hot toast not working in fact. See, that's all we do. We just we use Google all the time. How to clean up use effect. Well, in this case, let's see what they say. They say that toast dot dismiss, but that's not what we want, right? I think if we check this, no, I think we have to check this inside of here. So that you can just use this. I'm not using a component, so I guess this is not the one. React hot toast use effect. So there's use toaster, and I think this will return all the toasts. Wow. Okay, wait. Is it important that the same layout that we have, the same layout works across all of these things, all of these different pages? Okay. Maybe I should try putting this same thing. So I'm just going to put this same component right up here, because it might be possible that this does not work because yes, here we go. It shows this 2 times. I think that happens because of the strict mode. So let's see, strict. Use effect runs 2 times. Yeah, so maybe I could just put the empty array in here, and then still 2 times. So it says, in my case, I have a token which I'm not making a post request on, and this is the unsafe. So I need to have a variable which basically, if it's not true, then we set it to true, right? So if not initialized, then we first set this initialized to true. Yeah, so I guess this will only run once. This works in our case. So anyways, this works right now, so let's just use it. Also, we put the toaster right over here, and I don't think this is the right way to do so. So let's get rid of this. Then let's just manually put the toaster, because that's how it works. Anyways, so now if I just come over here, it says invalid credentials. Now let's see, what was the previous email that I chose? This one, and the password is, let's see if this is the right one. Yep, here we go. So right now it says loading, and that's it. It looks good to me, but now this is how it looks like. If I go ahead and create a node, and if I choose what I want in there, so I'm just going to say and picking up a color. So let's see which one. Yellow for this one. I think red looks kind of ugly in this case, but it's fine. So yeah, this one is the latest one. It comes up on the top. Now let's work on reading a post, because we have done the creation. So reading is, let's see, error handling, invalid creds. Now for reading this, we need a new page. So if I go to app, login, then I could just create a new folder called post. Inside of the post, I'm really not sure, do I have to create one more folder with that name? So we have defining routes, app dashboard settings. For what if I want a dynamic route? I guess for that I have to use this one. Okay, even though routes inside marketing and shop share the same URL hierarchy, you can create different layout for each group. So if I have app, and then marketing is /about, and then we have /blog, and then /account. Okay, wait, so organize route without affecting the URL path. Okay, that's not what we want. We have dynamic routing. So yeah, dynamic segments. So we can just say, we can just put the folder name, this one. So I think in the post, I'm going to create one more folder. I'm just going to call it ID. And inside of this one, we create the page tsx. And all this is going to do is just pass in the page. We don't need the params. Actually, we do need these, but let's keep it simple for now. So the params, we have the ID, and we can get the ID through the params. Now this I think is going to be different from what we have right now. Right now we fetch, I think we should let's see data fetching, because I'm really confused in this one. Fetch data on the server, fetch data in parallel to minimize waterfalls. Okay. Okay, I think if we fetch data on the server right now, dynamic data fetching, data is fetched on each request, static data is fetched and cached, cached data is reused in each request. I think this is just the, I think this was just the overview of how this is going to work. So we just have a function, and we call that function directly from the page component. So let's try this. But then how can we get the params? Okay, use incline components, static data fetching, server component functions, and like what we get from the props, can we pass that in directly? Let's give it a shot. So I'm just going to go up top, and I'm just going to paste this in. So if I go ahead and accept the params right now as Annie, so we don't want to fetch anything. All I'm going to do is I'm just going to console.log params, and we get back the params like so. And if I just say const, nothing, but I'm just going to say await. So this needs to be an async function, right? So this needs to be an async function that we await get data and then pass in the params like so. So this will be logged to the server. Now I have to handle this click event. So there is the new page, there is a lot. If I go to just page in the src app, where we have this nodes display, each and every single node should be wrapped inside of a link, I guess. So if I just add this link, key should be node.id, and we have to import this link from, I guess, next navigation maybe. Let's see, I'm just going to do this. Linking and navigation, so it's just next link. So I guess what we could do is we could just say, well, hey, import link from next/link, and we also need an href. Totally forgot that. So yeah, my computer hangs sometimes, I guess, when I'm using Vim, and especially when I'm streaming. So VS Code just does not respond. Alright, now it does, but I cannot type. That is totally fine, at least for now. This happens mostly when I'm using Vim, and let's see if this works now. Href is going to be /notes/ actually it should not be notes, it should be note. I named it post. Should be note. So because we are dealing with one singular node, so it's going to be /notes/ whatever the node.id is. And that's it. Let's see if the server is running. No, it's not. And if we go back in here, let's refresh once. So now these should be clickable. Now if I click on this, it should take me to that particular node. Okay, that's nice, because the rename thing is still going on. And how do I cancel this operation? It's VS Code rename is super weird. App post. Oh, right. You don't need to worry about renaming things. I'm just going to move app, actually source app post to source app node. Right? That was a lot faster. Anyway, so now if I refresh, here we go. It just says my post because that's all we have in there. But if I go back in here, we get back the params. I did not expect this to work, but it worked. So now if I go inside of node page tsx, now these params, the structure of this is going to be I'm just going to create an interface called params. It's going to have an ID of string, and that's all we are going to have in there. So let's just name this one more time, params. Okay, should be like so. All right, so once we get the ID, now what we want to do is we want to fetch. So I'm going to tell Xata to tell me how I can fetch a singular node by an ID. So it says insert, delete, get one record. So I want to read. Yeah, this is it. As simple as it gets. So first we want to get the Xata client. I think we have to do it inside the function, outside the function. Wait, do I need to get Xata client? I think we had the constructor that we used earlier. Why don't we use the constructor? Okay. Let's try with the get Xata client thing. So I'm just going to say const Xata equals get Xata client. And all you have to do then is get one record. So just say const record is going to be await. So this should be async. Xata dot db dot notes dot read, and then just pass in the params dot id in there. Now my bad. So now we can also make a check. So if there is no id, if there is no params dot id, then we're just going to return. And so we get the record, and all you are going to do is we're just going to return the record. So return record, and here we get back a singular node, and we also get type safety. So it's either this or undefined. I'm not sure if undefined is the right word in here, because there's this id, so it should work. But anyways, now we're going to return. If node exists, then we're going to return some other template. If not, then we're going to return just p not found. And so I'm just going to give this a div. So instead of this div, I'll just say p and then note dot title. Let's see if this works. Hit refresh and we get back hello. I think that was the title. And I'm going to pass in one more weird thing in there. It says not found. So yeah, we can have a custom 404 page, but I'm not sure how we can just show a 404 page. So redirect. Yeah, so it fetch team, and then if not team, then we just redirect to login. Why Okay, not found allows you to, if you need to redirect to a 404, you can use the not found function. So this is also a function. If not user, then not found. So that's what we can do. We could just say, well, hey, if not note, then just not found, right? This is a function that we have to import from Next. So we could just say import something from Next/navigation. I'm actually liking this Next navigation, Next 13 app directory, because it makes things kind of easy, I guess, and accessible. So now we get 40 page could not be found. Yep. And if we remove this, now what I want is when I click on one of these, so if I click on this, it should show me sort of a loading animation. So for that, if I just go ahead and search for skeleton or loading, I guess, loading UI, this one, loading UI. This is one of my favorite features. So we could just add a loading.js right in there. So let's do that. We have in ID loading.tsx, and it's going to take a while to create the file. Anyways, here we go. So all I want to show is just a basic page with all these title and stuff. So I'm just going to export default function loading note. We're going to return a div, and inside the div I'm just going to say h1 loading for now. So now if I go in here, if I click on this, it shows the cached version, but if I click on this, it shows loading first and then what we want. So I'm just going to create this UI. Now I don't know how we can view this page. Okay, so you have this loading skeleton. You can add any UI inside loading, including a skeleton. That's what I want to add. I want to add a skeleton, and to add a skeleton, oh, what did I get a prize for? Interesting. Anyway, so if I want to add a skeleton, I'm just going to find some skeletons from the okay, skeleton, React skeleton from npm. This is an SVG powered one. I think I messed with this one some time ago, but let's see. It's 170 kilobytes. It's pretty small. So where were we? We have the React content loader, import content loader. We have the Facebook one. We have a lot of these pre-made ones. So yeah, this is the Facebook, this is Instagram, this is code, this is list, and yeah, there are many good options. I like the code one for our use case, so let's give it a shot. So I'm just going to say code. Where is our site? Okay, I always have to move this site away. So if I refresh, this is how it looks like. It looks fine, but we could customize the colors a little bit. So like we are in the dark mode, right? For the dark mode, how can I customize the color? Animate, title, base URL, speed, view box, gradient direction, background opacity. Yep, this one. So it's right now it's 0. No, it's 1 by default. So if I just say background opacity to 0.5, and yeah, this looks nice, but it's kind of stuck. Why is that? Let's see. I'm just going to click on this. Okay, fine. It looks fine. I'm also going to kind of, I'll just add maybe a promise of a second or two. So I'll just, before returning this, I'll just say new promise, set timeout 5 seconds, just to visualize this. Wait, what? Oh, I have to await this. Sorry. Right, so we have 5 seconds. First off, this looks humongous, and secondly, it did not animate for some reason. Let's see what other options we have. We have style, we have before mask. What is that? Define custom shapes before content. No. Animate begin and delay before the animation begins. We have right to left, view box, speed. I'm just going to add the speed, and this is going to be 1.5. I think because I'm streaming late night and here in India, nobody's watching me. But that's totally fine. I don't know why this does not work. So if I go to the home page and if I click on this one, okay, fine, this works. This looks better. At least it looks okay-ish. I'm just going to comment this out just for the sake of this. Okay, fine. So we have a skeleton that we show. Now let's style this one. So this will look like a blog post, and that's what we want, right? So I'm just going to add an h2 with the node.title, and I'm going to style the h2 like text 3xl, font bold, and text center, all the basic stuff. Then why did not come up? Okay, here we go. Now this gets really interesting. Let's go to the home page and let's find out. So we have hello, this must work. This is the one I'm looking for. And then we will have all of the other description and all going inside of the p tag. So inside of the p, the node dot, we have a lot going on. Delete, what is this? Okay, so we get access to methods. I don't want that. We have title, we have update, we have. This is not what I exactly was looking for. I was looking for just one record. So if I insert, I have update, I have delete, query all. So yeah, maybe I should change this to something else. So this should be notes dot, we have all. That's going to give us all. We have filter, which will get first, that matches the query, or null if no record matches the query. Maybe this is the one we want, but then where's the query? Nope, this is not the one. So we have filter, the column name is id, and it should be equal to whatever the params.id is, and then get first. All right, something is wrong. Let's see if this works. Where is our app? It's right over here. If I refresh, this works fine. And so now I don't think we also get back that thing that we don't need. It's the, if I just say note dot, and we still get everything. Still get these methods, but okay, it's fine. Then let's just roll back to our previous change that we had. All right, so this is going to be node.content. Now I remember what it was exactly. And okay, here we go. Here it is. Now the node.content, this is something that we need to highlight, because this is what the user is going to read. Hey Zoki, how's it going? What are you up to these days? Nice to see you join this live stream. Takes a little bit of time, takes some seconds to express this whole thing. I'm just going to go ahead and create a new note with some actual data. So I'm just going to say ChatGPT to give me some actual stuff. So I'm just going to say, what exactly are you looking for? Some Next.js videos. So are you learning Next.js or are you into it deeply? Generate a dummy note for me with about 200 lines words. This is going to take some time, and so we can go in here, say dummy note by ChatGPT. See, this is how you use ChatGPT. Let's give it a color of green. Let's hit save. So this should redirect us right over here, and if I click on this one, this is how it looks like. Okay, this is totally okay, but we have to have some sort of spacing in between these two. So I'm just going to say class name flex gap of 5 flex call, yeah, and yes. I'm learning Next.js for some time. I'm trying to make hook for uploading image to Cloudinary. Does Cloudinary have a hook already? Like, if you go to their GitHub, there's a Cloudinary React. So maybe they have the components, but not the hooks. That's a nice one. So yeah, they have Cloudinary React, which does not consist of hooks. What exactly are you building so that you need to show this? Also, we don't have spacing in here. Like, it's put in like a whole string, but rather it should be formatted like so. So how we can do that? Or maybe that is not supported in here. If I just go back to our database, okay, this is how it's stored, so we don't display it nicely. So I think if I just do, let's see if this one actually works. Looks the same. I'm trying to make a call, make a small CMS in which user can create posts which would contain header image. So users should be able to upload image, delete it, and then that's a nice one. You are actually building something that is bigger than what I am building right now. So yeah, makes sense. Okay, now we don't want the yellow color, but what we do want is the color that whatever the note has. So for how long have you been using Next.js now? And are you working, is this a personal project or are you building it for maybe a company or something? Tailwind dynamic. That's nice. Should be building it in public, so people would be watching this and people would really appreciate this. I think the way we are storing the colors is fine, but still not the way we should. Okay, wait. So you have this. Oops. Okay, that's view. If color is primary, then do this. This is the thing, it does not work. So are you just using normal vanilla CSS or Tailwind or something else? If you have a live version, I'd like to take a look at this. I don't think you have a live version right now, because as you said, you're still building it, so might not be live. Title to change color depending on text length. Like, what do you mean? I can make the title to change color depending on text length. SAS and Tailwind. Yes, I have used SAS a little bit, but not too much. Then when I got into Tailwind, I was just into Tailwind then. Oh man. What's like conditional statement in styling? Like what conditional statement? Right now, the color. What I'm doing is I'm setting the color whatever the user set. So the user has options to set one of these colors. If I just show it to you, so one of these 4 colors, and whatever the user sets, I want to show that color as the title somehow. But with Tailwind, for some reason it does not work the way we want it to work. Yes, text in primary. I think because of the just-in-time mode does not work how we want it to work. Oh, with WordPress. Converting a WordPress site to Next.js is a pain, or actually not just Next.js, but even to something very, even to code that, even to convert a WordPress site to just plain CSS is really difficult. So do I have to do this again? I don't like this. Color variants, whatever the color is, so I have to specify these. I think I did specify this in somewhere around, maybe right over here. Here we go. This is the color variant. So if I just rename this BG color variants, and so I'm just going to duplicate this. It should be just color variants, and now it should not be BG, but should be text. And so instead of this whole thing, oops, what we can do is we could just say color variants index whatever the params dot, not the params, but node dot color is, and it throws us an error that saying implicitly as any type string cannot be used to index this. Oh boy, shouldn't have made it that type safe. As node color, here we go. Fine, we got it. I built a website. Okay, fine. Now let's see how we can make this one look as we want it to work. So like, how do I react? Let's ask chat. So I'm just going to tell it in React I want to display a string that has line breaks like a blog post. How do I display that string in React with the line breaks? I know I repeatedly asked this question, like I had a lot of repeating phrases in this question, but it's fine. Okay, so I have to use pre-tag, which is okay, fine. Not a big fan of pre-tag anyways, but if you have to use it, then you have to use it. You've got no choice. And yeah, here we go. With this tip was useful. White space thing. So if I just say white space, no wrap, pre-line. What was it? Pre-line. So that, I guess that should get this out. All right. So now the font, instead of mono, it should be sans. Wait, what? Okay, fine. This works. Sans. But font sans. I think we should install a font and then use that. So if we have, let's see how we can use Tailwind CSS fonts. Font family. We have display, we have body. I think we can just add maybe a font for ourselves for the pre-tag somehow. I'm just going to search for Poppins and then get that font. Let's see, regular 400. Why do I also have monster? I don't want that right now. Okay, now I think there is a layout file and there is also another file, is head. Yes. So in the head, we could just paste this. But it's JSX, right? Cross origin equals true. Actually, no. It should be cross origin, like so. Equals true. I think when I pasted this, the head tag messed up. Link. Oh boy. Says true is not assignable to anonymous, use credentials undefined. Cross origin, it's going to remove this whatsoever. It says custom fonts not added in this will only load for a single page. Then I think we should use next/font, right? Next/font. Here we go. So how do we use it? Inter.class name. Let's check it out in the Next.js docs itself. Where are they? Font. So you can just import this like so in the layout file, and then we add it. I think we have subsets. What is this one? Okay. If loading a variable font, you don't need to specify this, and then we just put the class name in on the HTML one. So if I go to layout, right over here, we just paste it. So we don't want enter, but instead I want Poppins. Then I don't think we need this. So we also don't need. Sorry, I'm too bad at Vim. Okay, let's see what it requires. Argument of options was not provided. Okay, here we go. So we need a weight for this. I'm just going to choose the normal one, maybe 400. And then we could just add class name equals to Poppins. And so if I go back to our site, right away it says subsets. Okay, wait. Enter.class name. So Poppins.class name. And then okay, missing selected subsets for font. Poppins, please specify this. See, we are new to this. Everyone is new to this. So yeah, you have this subset. Subsets should be Latin in this case. And here we go. It works. Now, right now this looks childish, I guess. Okay, we do not add the font sans. Can I add font Poppins somehow? Okay, so you can just add sans right over here. This is the one, so I'm just going to add it inside the Tailwind configuration. Inside of theme, extend, and you have I guess this. Let's grab this, and right over here this should be Poppins. Where is this? Let's see, global CSS webpack. Default theme is not defined. Sorry, my bad. I guess it's their bad. Should put a TS check right over here. So now I have to require from Tailwind CSS. So I just require the default. Okay. What's wrong now? Just going to restart the server now. And let's hope that the error does not come now. Alright, so we still have an error. It says hybridization failed because okay. Yeah, so we need to remove that link from the head. So let's just do that. Wait, so what was this thing before? Oh, my bad. Alright, so now finally we have our thing up and running. Also we need to set the font size and all. So let's see, text XL. This should be larger now. Yep. So this is the note. That's all. If I go back in here, if I open some other one, this one, all it has is just the content of the note. Here we go. This is built. Now let's see how we can add maybe the other thing. Also, I think it's good to fetch for the client also. Like we could do the same get data. I'm just going to call this get note, get single note, so that it makes sense. And if I just go to the home page right now, what we do is inside of here we use SWR, and this is okay, but instead we could use, if I just go to get.ts, this one. So we could use the same function, but in here. So async. Here we go. So my CPU is yelling at me right now, and it won't let me type anything out. I think you cannot see the code properly because of that chat. I just realized that. So maybe I should move the chat somewhere like that. Is the chat visible? Let me check it on my end. Okay, let's see if I can type now. Yep. So I think the chat is not, let's see if I can readable. So I'm just going to expand this. I think the chat is not larger. Readable. So I'm just going to expand this. I think the chat is not larger. Readable. So I'm just going to. Okay. So now what we're going to do is, now it's much better. Yes. So now you should have told me that it does not look good. Yes. So now, okay, we don't need this, we don't need this, and now let's just, okay, also session. I'm really not sure if this session thing is going to work. Okay, also session. I'm really not sure if we are not authenticated, we cannot fetch. It should be a thing. Let's see how we can do that. Next auth, Next.js 13. So we have session and we have headers. So we can get session, and yeah, so we have headers, we get cookie, and so we can call the headers function right over here. This looks like a good one. Oh, I did not know we can give so much on medium. I thought we could just give one clap. That's a lot of claps. Anyways, let's go in here. So, okay. Get session. Let's break down the file. So do we need this function, or does this function exist? I think we can just get the cookie and we could just get the response. Okay, I think we also add this, we should also add this cookie thing on this page. So we get the params, but we also need to get the cookie to verify if the user exists or not. So we have the cookie and we get the response from the local auth URL, headers, cookie. Next auth should have a method for this already. So if I just search for what is it, Next 13, Next 13. Where is it? No, this is not the one. So if I just next auth, Next.js 13, just search the same thing again and again. Okay. Use client, use session. Let's see, authentication exists. Okay, we have the unstable get server session, which this method was renamed to this. See the whole documentation below. In API routes, in app directory, yes, this one. So we have just get server session, and if not session, then we do something else. But the catch in here is that what if we like, do I have to wait for the session? Like, that is weird. Like, first we do this. Let's see. Oh, the options, and so we don't need this thing called cookie string. So but if not session, then we just return not found, right? So we could just replicate this line. I think that's fine. So if not session, then let's see if this actually works in action. Okay, wait, where is it? Right now this opens up, but if I open this up in private tab, fine, that works. Let's do the same thing, but not a not found one, instead something different. So now let's first of all get all the nodes. So we can just do this from, we just do this like so. We get back all, we get all the nodes. But this is what we have to fetch in the page, right? We cannot fetch it like this is the use client, so we have to do this inside of the page tsx file. Okay, client. So we need to get the client from get Xata client session. Here we go. So we got session, and the session comes from await get, wait a minute, so we have get server session. No, wait, is this the one? Yeah, get server session from this one, and then we have auth options that we pass in there. If the session, if not session, then we're just going to return just an empty div for now. Else what we're going to do is we're just going to pass in the session like so. So we have session, and this session is going to be session from Next.js. We have const notes is going to be await get all notes with the session we pass in. Whew, that was nice. And then we can just pass in the notes to this one, this notes display. Let's pass this in and let's see what if it actually works or not. Okay, this is the other page, and if I go to the home page, it shows loading and it just shows an error if it actually does not work. Let's refresh once. Okay, it shows loading because the nodes don't work as we want them to work. That's a warning. Ignore that. Is used in React server component. Yeah, so what else can we do? Currently, the underlying cookies only provides read access. This means that the expire value is stripped away. Okay, you can use Next.js middleware. So I think we can use the middleware instead of using the get server session. Maybe prerequisites. Okay, so you can get the with auth middleware function from middleware either as default or named exports. You must set the same secret in the middleware that you use in Next.auth. So the most simple usage is when you want to require authentication for your entire site. You can add a middleware.js file with the following. Okay, that's it. If you want to secure some pages, then you export a config object with a matcher. Yes, but I'm not sure where exactly should I keep it. Should I keep it right over here? So we have slash, we have slash post, slash note, slash whatever the ID is. No problem. We'll talk to you later. Zoki. Right now, if I open this up in a new page, this is completely blank, which means it does not fetch anything, right? If I go to slash note slash whatever, this gives us a 404 page. Fine, but how do I handle this right away? If not session, that we do not found. But in here, if not session, then we return just an empty div. Oh man, it's been, for how long am I streaming right now? It's been an hour, more than an hour. I don't think I've done anything right now in this stream a lot, but I just displayed the note. That's all I've done. Interesting. I think the middleware is something we should not mess with right now. In app directory, get server session. If not session, we return the div. Oh man, I don't return this from the function. So bad. Here we go. It works. Alright, fine. Let's do this now. So we have this notes, that is read only, selected pick, notes record, blah 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 blah, but I just want a straightforward type so that I can type this out. Right now the notes, this is Annie, but if I want to type this out, notes record, and this does not work. Property ID is missing in this. I need to read the docs for Xata. And wow, their website is taking too long. Okay, so we have, somehow if I can access these types, SD for TypeScript, JavaScript, basic auth, schema. So if I go somewhere, wait, where's the Xata TS? So we have the tables, we have everything. We also have the types generated. So there is Next.auth accounts, Next.auth users. All I want is notes record, and let's see, we have convert type notes. What if I do this? What if I just say, hey, not the, just this? SS property ID is missing in type this, but required in identifiable. This is not good. I think I have to type this the way this exists. So record, selected pick, read only, selected pick, and yeah, that's a lot. Anyways, going back, this is how it looks like. If I click on this, here we go. If I go back to the home page, if I click on this one, we get this, and it looks nearly simple. now that we have the create and display, let's work on the delete one. So now where should I place? Okay, let's see. Display notes fetch on server. All right. Now the question arises: how do I do this? How do I show a delete button? So I think I should show a menu right over here, and that menu pops up and then it shows you delete and all that. I think this is it for right now. I'm too tired today, so if you have any questions, let me know. I think I should end this stream right now. I guess nobody's watching, but it's anyways. So yeah, let's call it a day. Talk to you later and have a good time ahead.